everybody and welcome to episode 6 of the Two Bartys with me, Alan, and
James.
So welcome along to this, our 6th episode already, and what we want to do at the end, or our 6th episode in, is to do a bit of a road test. So again, once referring back to our good friends at Auto Express, we have picked out the Moving the Goalposts road test, which is all about the plug-in hybrid versions of the 5 Series BMW and the E-Class Mercedes. Now, to give this a bit of a twist, we can talk a little bit about these vehicles. We'll give you the headlines, but you want to know what these vehicles perform like. And my tame racing driver here, Mr. James, using Forza Horizon 4 and the closest models he can get to replicate the 5 Series and the E-Class, he will be giving you a road test review shortly. But before we do that, James, what can you tell us about the Mercedes? Let's go for the E300 first. It's part of the EQ range, which is basically going to be their electrified powertrain range. What can you tell us a bit about this? How much does this Mercedes cost?
Well, it costs around £50,000, which is quite a big sum for a sports saloon, and it's got a 2-litre 4-cylinder engine, and obviously because it's a plug-in hybrid,
It's got the E-motor as well.
Yeah, E-motor.
So what are we talking about in terms of power?
316 brake horsepower.
That's pretty good.
0 to 60, 5.3 seconds. So all round a pretty good car.
Okay. Oh, and what are your thoughts about the Mercedes E-Class? Are you a fan?
Well, I've always liked a Mercedes. I can't deny that. Some of their saloons, I'm kind of halfway there to be a fan.
Yeah.
But I just think the problem with this, you can get so many better deals for cheaper money.
Okay. Better deals for cheaper money. Such as, what are those better deals?
Alfa Giulia.
Okay, an Alfa Giulia. Okay.
BMW M5.
Would it be a BMW M5 for that money, or would it be the M Sport? It's probably M Sport money, really.
Audi, I've got no problem with Audi, that's fine. I just think it could be just a bit better.
So something about the Mercedes, it feels a bit like how you felt about Porsche. There's something about it where you go, do you know what? I will doff my cap at your engineering excellence, but you're just missing a little bit of soul. There's just a little bit of something missing from it. Okay, so we mentioned the BMW 5 Series. That is the one going head to head with. So tell us a little bit about that. Looking at the money, I think it's about 90 quid difference between the two standard models. But what about the all important power?
Again, a 2-litre 4-cylinder petrol engine plus the E-motor, but I don't know why, but it churns out only 249 brake horsepower.
So there you have it, an M-badged car being outperformed in brake horsepower terms, that is, by the Mercedes.
And also, 0 to 60, the Mercedes 5.3 seconds, the BMW 6.4 seconds.
Oh, okay. So, on paper then, from a performance test, it looks like it's the Mercedes' to lose.
But, because this is a plug-in hybrid, it isn't all about the power, it's about being the most efficient for the planet. And that's because of that extra power, the Mercedes produces 9 grams more CO2 emissions than the BMW. So in terms of if you want to help the planet and not want to have a fast sporty saloon, then go for the BMW, because that was the point. Plug-in hybrids, economy, all that. It's
Yeah, but you say about the economy, and then we see that the economy figures in the Mercedes are actually better. So this is really quite a finely balanced test. So on one hand, we've got better CO2 emissions, but lower on power, less on acceleration. But I guess with a plug-in hybrid, it's not about that 0 to 60 sprint, is it? It's about that electric range as well. Tell us about the cars that we're going to go over to in a moment that you've chosen on Forza Horizon 4.
So I tried to get the closest I can. So instead of the BMW, I think I got closest with because it's the M5.
Oh yeah, that well-known plug-in hybrid, fuel-efficient, planet-saving monster, the M5. Yes.
And then the Mercedes, I think it was the E63 I got.
So again, that AMG E63, that thing that's going to save the planet. Luckily, ladies and gentlemen, the only CO2 emissions we're going to be burning here are from the electric consumption in the house. So we're going to take you over now to the game where James is going to do a drag race and a bit of handling, and then he's going to let us know his verdict on which one feels the best as he walks across the camera.
So this is what I'll be using. It's a steering wheel that connects up to my console, and then same with these pedals. So that's the accelerator, that's the brake. So just to make me more connected to the car, so it doesn't just feel like I'm doing that, it just makes it more interesting. So I'm now going to go out in my M5 and see what it can do. Right, so this is the BMW M5, a very quick, muscly saloon, and I'm just driving it to the race that I'm going to do. Don't worry about the speeds I'm going because it's a video game, and I'm just driving along, trying my best not to crash, and I'm feeling very, very comfortable in this BMW M5. It's very efficient, so when you want to brake, it will brake. I'll just demonstrate that. It's like hundreds of meters, then you're at a standstill. It corners very well because of the all-wheel drive system, and is very, very fast. At the moment I am not, well, I'm using my internal combustion engine, and I'm now arriving at the runway where I'm going to park up, and there is a speed trap at the end of this. And I'm going to see how fast it will get up to. So when those lights restart and go yellow, 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 orange, 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 and then flash green, I'm going to start off. Right, so put it into first gear. I'm going to wait for, oh, right, the first yellow light, I'm going to get ready. Let's see how fast this saloon can go. Oh, quick off the line, snappy gear changes as I hit 90. That's 100, that's 110, and across at 123. I did brake a little bit early, but it wouldn't have made much of a difference. So I proved it's a quick, good handling, good safety as in braking car, and is probably the best looking, the best sounding of the two. So that's how it goes. Now, how it feels. It feels to drive very nice, very comfortable. At low speeds it does get a bit fidgety. But when you open the taps, you just forget about all the not so good bits and just think of the sound, the way it handles and the performance. So I am now going to switch over to the Mercedes. Right, this is my Mercedes E63. It sounds good, just like the BMW, and it doesn't pick up as fast as the BMW, but it's very good sounding, very good handling, also because of the all-wheel drive system, very good braking car. That was my mistake. And much like the BMW in the way it performs. But let's go back to where I was, if I can just turn around somewhere, and let's see how fast this goes around the runway. So if I remember correctly, the BMW did 123. So let's see how fast this goes. Also, I've noticed about this car, it isn't as easy to handle as the BMW, but it's still nonetheless a great car to just do a little drive like this in. So let's see how it does in terms of straight line speed, and then I'll do a race and put them against each other to see which one comes out on top. Whichever one I say is the best, I will go in. Right, so the lights are just starting up. Off the line, again not as responsive as the BMW, but still very quick nonetheless. I think it might just lose it here. 123. The BMW is half an hour quicker. So that's extremely close. Now I'm going to put them in a race, and we'll see which one comes out on top there. Right, so I have gone in the BMW M5 because its responsiveness off the line and its sharper performance, to see if it can beat the Mercedes.
So you join us here at the drag race then, where James is going to take on several of the BMWs, and they're off, and he's made a great start. But bearing in mind, those BMWs are tuned to the same, and the Mercedes looks like it's creeping ahead. Will he get to the end before that Mercedes AMG? It was so close, he got second place.
It's actually the same time. That proves how close it was. I did do a slightly dodgy gear change at the start, but I'm not going to use that as an excuse. I came second. The Mercedes is the winner. So there we have it. The Mercedes is the best. Even though I thought the BMW, with its sharp reactions off the line and sharp gear changes, could beat it, I guess I was wrong.
Okay, so that is now the end of episode 6, so we hope you've enjoyed this one with a bit of a road test to mix it in as well. And if you like what we have done here, please like, subscribe, comment down below. We can always take a look at your vehicles, or you could also pick a couple more vehicles for James to race against on Forza Horizon 4. So we hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll be back with Series 2 very soon. So from James and I, it is goodbye.